I don't know why I'm so nervous to film this. This is like kind of a really, really personal video. So yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. Today I wanted to take you on a little tour through my spiritual planner. This is a planner that I've sort of Frankensteined myself with blank notebooks and this Traveler's Notebook sort of cover. This is not an official Traveler's Company Traveler's Notebook cover. I just got this off of Amazon and I got it in a size that was specific to the Moleskine Kahir notebooks, which I love those. I think they're a great size for just jotting down notes and stuff like that. So I have a bunch of them and I wanted a cover that would fit that size. So we're going to go through a little bit about this planner, and as we go through it, I'm just going to talk about sort of why I created a planner like this and what I use it for. So Traveler's Notebooks, for those of you who don't know, open like this. They have a strap that sort of holds it all together, and mine is like pretty stuffed, so I really need that. When you open it up, you have strings that go through the cover, like you can see here, and strings that sort of attach notebooks to one another. And so I thought that this style of planner and this style of planner cover would be perfect for spiritual planning, because if you're not of the dominant faith, or if you have a really customized, very personal to you, there's not a huge community out there like a church or something for you to go to. Or really what I mean to say is if you're into the sort of witchy side of spirituality like I am, we don't really have planners that are for us. There's definitely a few out there. Most notably, I think Magic of Eye and then Honeycomb Collective both do like an astrological lens. And I've seen a few others as well. But for me, I've tried a couple of those planners and they didn't work for me just because the layout wasn't quite to my taste. So I found myself never using it. So I thought I'd just sort of create one by myself for myself. So when I open it up, my first insert here, and I'm going to try to show you a few things on the inside of these things, but it's going to kind of be, some of it is quite personal, so I might skip it. But this first insert here is a general catch-all, like notes, planning, almost like grimoire type book. And it's like I said, a Moleskine Kahir's notebook. I hope I'm saying that right. Kahir? I don't know. All I know is it's not cashier, which I thought it was for the longest time. Anyways, this is a dot grid notebook. So most of the pages just look blank with dot grid like that. And it is a black Kahir notebook. And this sticker is from a tarot deck that I got with, I believe it was the Micah Ulrich tarot. And it had this little sticker on the packaging, so I just put that on this book. And in here there's a bunch of, like I said, like notes about astrology, planetary rulership stuff. I have like protection and warding information, candle scrying information. I love doing like candle for prayers or for spells or whatever. I sort of review books that I'm reading. I review some books that I'm reading. I talk about how to write petitions, how to do all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot in here. I even started doing this. I was studying ancient Greek religion. For anyone who is like into Hellenism or Hellenismos, I actually know a lot about that because I did sort of a self-study on that for like all of last year. So I wrote out July and August in what's called the Hecatombion, I think is how you pronounce it. It's whatever that word is right there. But anyways, I wrote out that, which it's a moon cycle calendar. So the ancient Greeks used like a moon cycle calendar for each of their months, and the first 8 days of the month you worshipped like specific gods and stuff like that. So I was just seeing like what that would look like in a planner. And this is what I mean by like, we don't have planners that are made for us always for our specific interests if we want to be tracking certain things. So like if I wanted to be tracking the ancient Greek month, I have to do that by moon phases, and I can't buy like a printed planner that just goes from like the new moon to the like end of the month, because it often splits like 2 months at once, if that makes sense. So anyway, so I was just mapping this out, and this notebook is really stuff like that. It's sort of me testing, playing around. Usually I'm not repeating monthly calendars that I have in other planners in here, but I am sort of mapping out like what's upcoming in October for the new full moons and holidays and things like that, or just taking notes. So this is a really good general insert to start with. And then I have this sort of like plastic cover, which is wrapping currently around another Moleskine Kahir's notebook. And this plastic cover came with the planner cover. If you get a traditional, like a Traveler's Company brand Traveler's Notebook, they do sell these, and they're probably like a bit more high quality. This one is not. Like, it's holding up fine, like it's doing its job, but like, for example, like this zipper pouch broke, so I can't really keep small things that need to be contained in there anymore, but that's fine. I don't really need to keep those in my planner. So I just have a few like printed die cut things. I think everything in here right now is from Paper Minty Studio, because she just did like a huge sale, and I got like a bunch of little like witchy and spiritual things from her. So these are all Paper Minty Studio, and that's just if I want to paste anything into the planner, I have those easily accessible. And then the back of this insert, I have a sigil workbook, this is a small like pocket-sized notebook, and it's a little sigil workbook. I don't really do sigils very often, but I love the idea of them and I want to try, and so I just thought like a tiny little workbook would be great. And then I have some more Paper Minty Studio stickers, again just for like tarot and like deco for other pages in my planner. These tarot cards and these suns are just so beautiful to me. I love them. And then this is like one of her functional sheets, and then an autumn sort of moody sticker sheet as well. So I just keep those in here because I like them and I think that I would use them, and this is the place that I would try to use them first, but I may change this around and move this around. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this system is like very new to me, having all my spiritual stuff in one place. I'm not super organized with my spiritual planning and spiritual like health. One of the reasons again that I think that this Traveler's Notebook style is so good for this is because I just had like this book was loose, this book was loose, this book was loose, and then this final book was loose, and I just had these like scattered around my apartment, but I was able to sort of capture them in one book once I got this cover. So that's why, again, another reason I really think that this sort of Traveler's Notebook-esque system is great for if you're customizing your own sort of like spiritual path and spiritual journey, because like everything you've just like randomly collected really can be fit into this, and a bunch of different inserts can be used. So anyways, let's talk about the insert that's in the middle of the plastic divider. So this is a dedicated like class that I'm taking on some of this stuff, and I'm not going to show you what's inside because obviously, you know, if you want to take the class, you can take the class. It's called Magic Without Bullshit. It's by Sabrina M. Scott. She's on Instagram and she's great. So I'm taking a class with her right now, and I have a bunch of these dedicated Kahir's notebooks that I just dedicated to classes or projects. I actually have another one that's dedicated to Ancestral Tarot. If you guys have ever read that book, I'm about halfway through it and I really like it. But based on what I'm working on, like, you know, this month or this week, I'll just like swap out this central insert so that I can just have that with my planner, because obviously only a limited amount of things fit in this cover, and I'm definitely gonna eventually have to figure something else out. But yeah, this is just my like current project work book, I guess. So I'm not going to show you what's in there because it is class material, but it's dedicated to this one particular area of study. And then lastly, we come to a notebook that I have talked a little bit about on my channel. If you saw my notebook lineup from a while ago, you'd have seen this one and another notebook therapy notebook that I was sort of using as like grimoire-y stuff, but I switched that up based on like what I have in my planner here. And now this is just really a dumping ground for tarot readings and dreams. This is a notebook therapy notebook. It's the Tsuki Moon design. It was part of their Maple Dreams collection that they released, I think 2 years ago now. It might be 3 years ago. But I just loved this. I thought it was so beautiful. And so, you know, I picked it out and dedicated it to my craft. This is an envelope that I received from a company when I just like ordered stickers or something off of Etsy, and I just keep like petition paper in there, extra scraps of paper to use throughout this notebook for other stuff. Oh, I'm struggling. Get ye back in the envelope. All right. And then I just decorated this a little bit. I always leave like blank pages in front of my journals for some reason. Let's see what I can show you here. Yeah, so this is when I got the Ally Man's Tarot, and I just wanted to save the packaging from the Ally Man's Tarot because I loved it so much. So I got the Ally Man's Tarot, saved the packaging. I did a Virgo full moon spread, and I did some affirmations for that, and now those are in here. Reading with the Ally Man's Tarot. You can see I like put petitions in and sort of just tape them in and draw cards and symbols and stuff. More tarot readings and dreaming and stuff like that. I have not been very good at keeping up with this recently because I just haven't had the time to do as many like tarot readings and sort of self-care stuff as I want to. But this is here now, and I've put all this together so that hopefully, you know, I can just sort of be a little bit more like dedicated and have everything condensed into one spot. So when I want to do any sort of like self-care tarot readings or light any candles or like have like a spiritual moment for myself, I have a place to document it and plan it. So yeah, so that's my spiritual planner, guys. Let me know what you think. I'd love to know what you guys are using for spiritual planners, whether or not you have like an alternative, quote unquote, alternative spirituality or a standard spirituality. I don't know what you want to call it, but like if you're of a dominant faith or a non-dominant faith, what does your notebooks, planners, etc. look like? Because I know that we are all in this community and we all like to commit stuff to paper. So if this is something you vibe with, leave your comments and notes down below. I'll try to link a couple of different things that I used here today in the description section, but really this is so customizable because you can add any insert that you want. So I'd love to know what inserts you would add, or if you're incorporating like tarot and spirituality into a planner that also has other stuff, or if you have a dedicated spiritual planner and notebook. Let me know down in the comments, because I think it would be really good to share, because as I was saying earlier, we just don't have the same access to like pre-printed planners and options that people of like more dominant faiths would. So I'm super curious. Yeah, let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for watching and for subscribing. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.